In this video, we will see how to make communication between IEC61850 client and IEDs. So for this video, I will use two IED. One from Infotech, which is a simulator. So here I have the IP name, IP address is 127.0.0.1. And the other one is one ICD file from a Siemens relay. So I have to input this ID information into my driver setting. So here I can add 25 ID in this client. So I can type the information manually or I can import the ICD file directly. So for the first one, for Infotech, I don't have ICD files, so I will import the data by typing them manually. So here I must have a unique server, so I just can call Infotech and IP is correct. Then here I have to make sure I have value, and then I have to make sure that this is not checked, so it's enabled, so it's okay. Then I can press add. Then the second ID is by importing the ICD file, and this ID is from Siemens, is a Siemens ID. It could be a VAMP, or it can be a GE, or it can be ABB, or it can be Schneider. It can be any kind of vendor. It does matter. We can integrate any kind of relay, protection relay, or motor feeder relay, or any kind of relay, or any kind of brand, or any kind of manufacturer, any kind of relay. Okay, so this one is Siemens ID, so I just can write a proper name here, and I can have one IP because the IP is missing from the ICD file, so I just can write a correct IP. And also here I have value, and here the ICD file have this option checked by default, so I have to uncheck this. Every time you make a modification, you must click on update. If you don't and just press OK, if you come back, then there is no any changes. So you have to make sure you click on update button. So here I have to write all my modifications. So I just modify the server name, and I will modify the IP which is missing, and I just uncheck this part, and then I can update. Okay, so now I have my two ID. They have different value, okay, but they have a unique server name, and they have a right IP, and also I can see that there's no any checked box here for each of them, so it's correct. The other part I need to check right now before to import tag is like I have a correct LD file path, so I have to make one folder in my system, and I have to copy the path of this folder to this one. Okay, then I just can press OK. Then I go to the tag border. So if I click on online and offline, I can see my two ID, but actually in online I should be able to read only the info tag. So if I click here, I can see the logical device I have for this ID, and for the Siemens I click on offline and I go to Siemens, and I can have also the logical device for this IID. If I click on the Siemens here, then I will have the waiting cursor of my mouse, and then I will have error message, but this is normal because this ID is not online, so this is why I will have error message here. So if you can see this error message, probably it means that the ID is not connected, or you have a problem with the LD path. So in this case the Siemens is not connected, so this is okay, it's normal. And here Infotech offline, there is some problem because we don't use IC define, so the system is not able to read anything from the file because the file is missing. Okay, so these two error message, they are normal. Okay, so let's import the tag. When you import a tag, for example, if I just click like this and import like that here, I don't have anything under these two logical device. The reason is because you need to make sure that you click here because the system have to read online the content of each logical device, and you have to get all logical node here first. Then you can import them. So you need to make sure that you click on each logical device, then the system will read inside each logical node, and then you will see all the tag here. Okay. It's the same for the offline method. If you just do like this, you will not see anything on the logical device, so you cannot import anything. So you will have to close and you have to remove, because here, see, nothing is important. So you will just erase again, and you go back here again, and you make sure that for any logical device, you just click once in front of it, and then after that you can go back to the ID name and you can import. Then you can do the same for offline. You go to Siemens, and here you have to just click in front of each logical device like this, and then you can import this ID to my projects. So here I have everything. Okay, so this is how we can import the tag to my driver. So now for the troubleshooting, sometimes it happens that you will not see any activity on tag. For example, if I go to here and my datasets, and if I check the value here on the three phase, if I activate my driver, I should be able to read data, which is the case, and the value here is the same as the value here. If I change here 17, 34, and 20, they're the same here. If you cannot read anything, maybe it's because the ID is not well configured. If the configuration of the ID is wrong, if the ID have wrong setting for the control block, if the ID doesn't have a control block for each dataset, then you will not be able to read this tag. If you want to make a simple test, you can go to the driver setting, or you have to go to the driver setting, and you go to the report. So you can enable this option, which is port tag, not found in any report. If you click on this option and you press OK, and then you deactivate and activate again, if you can read the tag by enabling this option, it means that the configuration in the ID is wrong, because the configuration for the URCB and BRCB is not correct, and you need to make sure that each dataset is linked to a control block. So you need to make sure of it. Then if the configuration is right, you should disable this option, and you can make a communication again. In normal condition, in this protocol, you don't need to port tag. Okay, everything is by event. So this is why you need to make sure that everything is correct in the ID configuration. Yeah. So this is a basic for the troubleshooting. If you want to see more detail in activity of your driver, What thing you can do is to go to the driver setting and you can go to the setup, and here you have the login option. So you can enable this log and you can see more detail about the communication. Okay, so this is just some tips you can check if you have any problem to import tag, or if you have any problem to write the correct information when adding the ID to the driver. And if you cannot read anything, then you can just check this first. Thank you.